Hi, I've got your energy stories for the fourth week of April 2023, and we're going to start with a few battery stories. This week, Scania and Northvolt announced their jointly developed lithium-ion battery cell capable of powering a truck for almost 1 million miles. Meanwhile, Chinese battery behemoth CATL announced its condensed battery cell technology with an energy density of 500 watt-hours per kilogram, making it suitable for electric flight. The battery employs innovations in various components of the battery cell, including the separator foil, cathode, and anode. Meanwhile, here in North America, battery company Electrovaya announced that third-party DNV Labs had tested its battery over 3 years, showing 9,000 charge and discharge cycles while retaining 87% of its initial capacity. This extrapolates to about 14,000 projected cycles over a lifetime of the battery, giving a typical EV with 250 miles of range about 3 million potential miles, or 6 round trips to the moon. With cycle lives a diminishing concern, vehicle-to-grid programs are likely to proliferate. Last summer, 2 Beverly, Massachusetts school buses sold 7 megawatt-hours back to the grid, earning thousands of dollars. Beverly will add a third bus this year. Another bus V2G project starts in Vermont this summer. Utility National Grid estimates that if all 9,000 Massachusetts school buses were electric, they could potentially contribute 450 megawatts. Extrapolating to the 500,000 U.S. school buses, if all electrified, my math gets you to about 25,000 megawatts. In West Virginia's Green Power Motor Company received a $15 million order from the state for 41 all-electric school buses to be manufactured at a local facility following a successful 7-month pilot project with 15 municipalities. Food distributor Cisco is building an EV charging hub at its Riverside, California facility to power 40 EV trucks and 40 hybrid electric refrigerator trailers. The platform will include 4 megawatts of batteries and 1.5 megawatts of solar. And Cisco plans to add 2,800 electric trucks to its existing U.S. fleet of 9,000 vehicles by 2030. Meanwhile, Electrovaya will add at least 2 million North American EV charging ports for home, commercial, and public charging segments by the year 2030, including over 10,000 DC public charging stations. On-site solar company Sonova just got a $3 billion conditional loan from the U.S. Department of Energy for a new solar loan channel, boosting low-income communities' access to solar and virtual power plant services. Sonova will get indirect and partially guaranteed cash flows for associated loans that may leverage up to $5 billion in loan originations for batteries and solar arrays. In Canada, the 900-megawatt, 700-mile Labrador Island Link transmission line, carrying hydropower from central Labrador to the island of Newfoundland, was finally commissioned after lengthy delays and billions in cost overruns. That same week, a jury in Maine decided in favor of Avangrid, allowing it to proceed on construction of 145 miles of the New England Clean Energy Connect, a transmission line intended to bring 1,200 megawatts of Quebec hydropower to Massachusetts. In offshore wind, Bloomberg reports that the Department of Defense is concerned with the Biden administration's plans for projects along the central Atlantic U.S. coast. The majority of new areas being considered will conflict with military operations, and maps seen by Bloomberg show large areas characterized by the Navy and Air Force as, quote, highly problematic, unquote. This issue may hamper the administration's efforts to install 30 gigawatts of offshore wind. The Interior Department had been planning to sell new offshore wind rights in this area early next year. And finally, last Sunday, April 16th, California grid operator CAISO reported net electric demand hitting negative 63 megawatts at 12:20 in the afternoon. Total demand of 13.8 gigawatts was met by 12.4 gigawatts of utility-scale solar and 1.5 gigawatts of wind. As this script was being developed on the 23rd, CAISO notched yet another negative number, briefly dropping to negative 203 megawatts at 1:10 p.m. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.